Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the Hornady Auto Charge Pro powder measure. With your purchase, you will also get a powder pan, a 10 grain and a 50 grain check weight, a small paintbrush, your owner's manual, and also a product guide. We're going to go over some of the different parts of the powder measure. This part right here is to keep the dust or the wind off when you're dropping powder. Okay, and on the side, this is where you can dump your powder. Right here is your powder bin. On this side, ain't nothing over on this side. It's all plain and clean. You put your check weights, your 50 and your 10 grain check weight. It's fairly simple to get started with this powder measure. All you do is you take your powder, open up the top, dump it in. And when you're using the powder measure, you always want to cut it on and let it warm up for about 5 minutes, where you'll get the most precise powder dumps that you can. This is where you put your target weight. This one is your speed on how fast it's going to trickle. And this right here is how many grains it'll away before it'll start trickling. Then your settings, you have normal, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And that's where you can change like presets. Then you have auto and manual. Manual is like you have to automatically hit dispense every time you put your pan on, or you can put in auto, and every time you actually put the pan back on, it automatically drops your net charge. Then you have calibration 0, dispense. We're going to go through now and show you how to calibrate your powder measure. You push and hold calibrate. Then ask you for your 10 grain check weight. So then you put it on. And once it says 10, go ahead and take it off. Then if you wait for a couple of seconds, it asks for the 50. Then you put your 50 grain on. Once it pop up 50, take it off. And it'll say pass if it passed. And the way you zero it, that'll zero your scale. You take your powder tray, you put it on, then actually you go up to calibrate 0, hit it, and that's it. Okay, now we have the powder measure zeroed and calibrated. And now you want to start dropping your charges. So here you hit target, and say we want to do 50 grams. Then hit enter. Then your speed, it automatically went to 0.7 and time went to 0.7. Okay, and now we're going to hit dispense and see what it does. Well, we got one good charge. So go ahead and take the top off, dump it back in. Let's try it again. It says another, it's lifted. If you lift it up and put it back on, it actually tell you what you actually got. Okay, we're gonna drop it again. If you notice, see how slow it was actually trickling? Like to speed that up, you go up to speed and say you can put 0, 1, then hit enter, and let's try it again. Let's zero this out. $50 again. Let's take it off. Verify the charge. 50.0. And see, this is one. That's what I give you the brush. To actually brush off that says powder that sometimes falls off. So let's try this again. Go ahead and hit dispense. Try like 28.7. Okay, hit enter. Dispense. Or okay, it's zeroed out. Dispense. There we go. Now what I'm going to try to do now, I'm going to try to bump it and see if I can get it to overcharge. So let's go ahead and hit dispense. And once it starts trickling, I'm actually going to tap it to make more powder drop, where you'll see what it's like when it overcharges. Well, tried it. Still, actually, for a perfect charge again. Let's try this again. But when it starts trickling this time, I'm actually going to lean it forward a little bit so more powder will drop when it spins. See, this is what it does when you overcharge. Okay, and when you take your pan off, if you noticed it didn't clear, like even if I dump it and put it back on and hit dispense, it still will not let me throw another charge. What you have to do, you have to hit enter. When you hit enter, then you can put it back on, dispense again, drop another charge. There we go. Another perfect charge. Let's take it off. Validate it. Sensing free. But what it is, what I noticed is some powder that actually spilled when I moved the tray the first time. So then let's try it again. There we go. This particular powder dump, I actually enjoy it. I have actually reloaded probably 250 rounds on it. I have had some overcharges, some light charges, some overcharges. But once you dial in the settings on this particular powder dump, you can actually get very precise loads. It all comes down to your trickle time and the speed that it drops the powder. Once you fine tune it to whatever particular powder that you're using, you actually have very good luck with this particular powder dump.